the stairs to help the satrap. This has been beefy. I feel like this has been beefy. Maybe that's just me. My sense of time changes wildly when I'm doing patch content, especially when I'm like recording it versus when I'm just playing it on my own. Obviously doing all of the character voices, doing everything, looking for whatever lore we can. And even then I feel like in the moment I barely even get to brush the surface of later character analysis I'll do, or thoughts on the lore, or conversations with all of you, or feelings, and try to cram pack it all into one thing. It's always so intense, so thank you all for taking this journey with me. Okay, Estinian, what do we got? I was put up in a guest room in the palace while I awaited my audience with Vrtra. I expect we'll be given the use of something similar. Do we get like a new in-room kind of thing? Well, wait a minute, don't we? Maybe. Well, because we have kind of unconventional in-rooms this go around, right? We've got our little base over with Baldessian, our little room. Conducting our expedition out of the Rising Stones would raise just as many questions as recruiting too many scions. At least here in Ratatan, we might be expected to appear road-weary from our local explorations. Give me a new bedroom, Varshan. I'm ready. Make it cute, though. I've gotten accustomed to a certain level of just, you know, comfort and elegant. No, I'm kidding. He could give me a cardboard box and I'd be like, thank you, Varshan, and I'd go sit in some alley in the back, you know? And so we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are presently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities began in earnest, however, we can redistribute the trove and make a room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. Oh my gosh, I may or may not have kissed my adorable little cat a couple times because I just took a quick little breaksy and now I've got cat fur all over my face. As you heard, we will have you settled in Megaduta in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Asjaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our explorations might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. It's cool if we fail. It's like, alright, you know, sometimes you fail, you pick yourself up, you keep going. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidhana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture into the 13th, now is the time. All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. Okay, go have fun with your dragon friends, your dragon armor friends who serve a dragon. You know what this means to me, Arden, but my purpose need not consume you as well. We are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm excited. I'm also very worried about your sister, and I care about her greatly, but, like, I'm also very excited. Do some savage aim. Why not? If I can't just get straight up gold, we'll just grab some. It'll be just fine. Meanwhile, in the 13th. Alright, show me more. Forlorns possibly. Oh, wait! Isn't part of that... It looked like World of Darkness. I don't think it was, actually, though. But they definitely had some similar lighting arena setup. For sure they did. Who'd this stinky boy? Reaper Scythe? Oh? Void Scent? Why are these zooming out? Okay, it almost felt like for a second they were gonna let us play as them or something. Oh my gosh! Xenos' void sense? Is that...
And thus I am returned.
There are so many theories about, like, with Xenos' void set, maybe one of our shards? If this is even them, I don't know. But they have, like, a really cool, unique new model, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And the cool thing over the head? Give me that dark halo. A world bereft of saviors. Newfound adventure done! As you can see, ridiculously enough, I had left only the last quests until 6.2. You know how earlier I was talking about how I don't like finishing things because then it'll be over and I don't want it to be over. Well, that was the case of what happened with my original recording with 6.1 story content. I got enough to unlock the stuff I needed and then I went, I'll save you like a little treat. And then 6.2 was out. It's so weird. I feel like I was just here with everybody doing 6.1 content and now we're starting 6.2. I mean, oh my gosh, there's so much that has come with 6.2 here. We have so much new content. We have so many things. Quality of life changes as well. Also, the Titania special effect weapons, which I was not expecting, but are so gorgeous. There have been a lot of things introduced. I've been talking about them a lot on our podcast, Aetheryte Radio, and also just over on my own stream, which is over on Twitch, and it's the same Rookery, R-O-O-K-U-R-I over there too. But here, now, in this moment, we are going to actually play through the MSQ together. I will not be, as always, doing spoilers on my Twitch channel. We will only be playing through here on YouTube. If you like the content we've done, if you've been watching the playthroughs, if you've listened to me do everything from, you know, just ramble passionately to ranting to sobbing to laughing, this is just a huge spectrum of different emotions. Thank you so much. 14 has so much to offer for everybody, and I love hearing how the game has made you feel, even when we have differing opinions, even when we kind of receive things differently in the moment. Getting to be a part of this ongoing conversation and experience with everybody is just like the coolest. It's just the best. It's so great, honestly, and I always come away from it feeling as though how we have all experienced this journey together makes me appreciate it even more from every single facet. I feel as though how I take in this story and think about it and the characters and everything over the years only grows and changes as getting to know all of you does, and as our community grows and changes. It's just incredible. It's just amazing to be a part of it alongside all of you. So I hope you've been enjoying your adventures from 6.1. I hope you enjoy all of the content that's coming in 6.2. Make sure, like, subscribe, you know, follow the channel. Have I said that already? If not, do it, because we'd love to be a part of this experience. We'd love to have you be a part of this experience and to hang out together, comment together. Don't be afraid to come on over when I'm live on Twitch as well, or when I'm doing one of the podcasts that I do. But whatever we're doing, wherever it is, it's always great to get to share these journeys with you. So let's get started here. 6.2. It's happening. There's been a lot of theorizing. There's been a lot of speculating. I hear the dungeon is pretty early on, which I'm excited about because, you know, I love me some content, and I can't wait to see what the Void has in store, I guess. Yeah, we'll just go to the Void, you know, casual. Easy. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Ah, excellent timing, Arden. Just a moment ago, I received a word from the Ironworks. They have completed their task and are on their way with the reinforced warding scales. Similarly, our alchemists have also succeeded in creating an artificial Atmos. All is in readiness for our journey to the Void. I have instructed our comrades to gather at the Great Work. Let us head there at once. Oh my gosh, are we just actually gonna go straight into it? Is the very first thing you do going to be this dungeon? Because I mean, we had the momentum from 6.1. It really felt as though we were on the threshold of either a solo duty instance or something like a dungeon. So, I mean, I'm okay with that. I also don't know what this party over here is all about, but something happens there at some point, it seems like. Let's get our butts over to the great work. Using a teleportation system that I've used 100 times and always still get confused about. Or pull up and can't remember what section is where. Yeah, no great work. We have so many locations now in the game. I don't even know how they could possibly make the teleportation menu more intuitive. I guess maybe letting you type in the place you want to go, or type in Thavnair and then all of the Thavnair locations would come up, or something like that. That might make it smoother, but otherwise, I mean, I guess they could have a visual map, but that would still feel cluttered. They're doing the best they can. They just have so many locations in this game. It's ridiculous. Here we go. To thus create a void scent, Hannish alchemists are as clever as they are bold. Our comrades are here, but the Ironworks people have yet to arrive. You don't want to take me on this journey. Oh, he's a little baby one. I thought they might make it look different, you know? I thought, but it's just one tiny hot pocket. I guess that would be, oh my gosh, what are they called? The little pizza, you know what I'm talking about? The little pizza pockets. They're like pizza, there's one small pizza dumpling. It's like those. They're the little frozen ones. Pizza squares. You have the fully grown Hot Pockets, and then you have the Tostino pizza rolls. That's what they are. I'm not sponsored by Totinos. I actually didn't even eat many of those growing up. They were a weird food. Lunchables and pizza rolls I was deeply envious of. Now as an adult, I don't know why, but as a kid, they were things my mom refused to get, but that I always heard other kids talking about or eating, and I was so jealous of them. And now I can just have either of them at any time when I want, but instead, I don't know, I get other food or real food. Or I just order a lot of Taco Bell, you know? I guess you get more of it, and it's delicious. It's bad delicious. It's so good. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at, personally. In my life and my journey as a grown adult in this world. Anyway, we've got a little pizza roll. A little foidal pizza roll who's here now. There you are, Arden. I present to you the fruits of the alchemist's labor, the artificial pizza roll. Though we've yet to put it to the proof, its ether is practically identical to that of the original. A truly remarkable feat in so short a time. Aye, our alchemists have outdone themselves yet again. Small wonder that they are the pride of Vrtra. Where is my pride? Where are they? I didn't even need to see the text to know what was happening there. I would express my gratitude to Nidhana, but it appears she isn't here. She rushed off after bringing the Atomos to attend to a pressing task, but said that she would return ere we set forth. Oh my gosh, right. Hot grown-up Varshan. Again, he's not a real child. He's a thousands of years old dragon that made a small-sized puppet. And I am for so many reasons glad that they have given us what I think from the preview from the trailers looks like a full-size model. I mean, it makes sense too with him going into trust and all of that, that with the animations that they have already for the classes in combat, they probably would have had to, I don't even know, completely re-rig everything for a small model. And honestly, at this point, let's all be real here as a community, as people who play this game. We already had enough underage characters that people did questionable stuff about, so, and not good stuff, and 110% not at all approved of, deeply frowned upon stuff that even Square Enix has had to talk about. So I'm good with this. I'm good with this. I mean, also, he is a thousands upon thousands of year old dragon. I don't know exactly how many years, but many years old. I'm sure I could figure it out. I'm sure somebody has done the lore, even with our wibbly wobbly tininess in 14. She rushed off, but she's coming back, is the summary there. Which should be shortly after our friends from the Ironworks arrive with the warding scales. Did someone say warding scales? Because it just so happens we have them. Engineer Dad and Grumpy Dad. Right on cue. 'Tis good to see you all again. But for the President himself to attend, keen to bear witness to our little experiment, are you? You know I am. I was there at the Crystal Tower, lest you forget. I wouldn't miss this for the world. You don't mind if we come along and see you off, I hope. It's thanks to these three that I could finish the work so quickly. 'Twas my painstakingly collected data that made the reinforcement possible. The scales will last a good 10 years in the void, with nary a hint of degradation. That cheesy smile at the end. As the ones who did the actual reinforcing, we guarantee their quality as well. They'll keep you safe. But enough bragging. Here are the scales. That little tiny tail, it still gets me. So dinky. It's very cute. With these, we can search for my sister without fear of corruption. I know not how to repay you. Ah, don't mention it. Midgard Sommer came to our rescue in the rift. It's the least we can do to help his children. Thank you. I mean, he also hot-tailed us into oblivion, but that technically wasn't him. But I will never forgive those hot tails. Well, my friend, my only regret is that I won't be able to accompany you on this latest grand adventure. Wait! Nidhana, is aught the matter? Before you depart, Your Excellency, there is something we wish to present to you. Will you please come with me? You would not delay us without good cause. Very well. Forgive me, my friends, but I require a moment. Yeah, you go do you. We're about to get set off into a world that wants to corrupt us, kill us. I don't know, do a lot of bad stuff to us. Maybe, hopefully find your sister. Hopefully she survives somehow. I like that Ishtal is just communing with the pizza roll. He's certainly taking his time. What sort of grand present could take so long to receive? It's a body! He's getting outfitted with his new puppet form. The kind that'll help him in the void, I presume. In that godforsaken place, he'll need all the help he can get. Excuse me, god's-forsaken. There are plural. He'll need all the help he can get. But you of all people ought to know that, eh? Lanky, crabby, ramen noodle for hair. Oh, Nero. Is this the reveal? It has to be the reveal, right? It's gonna be the reveal. Ah, how does he look, I wonder? I hope they didn't just use a generic face for him. I hope they did do a custom model face, because I like the custom model faces. I'm still over here hoping that we even get CC updates that give us some new face templates at some point soon. There he is, his tail.
Keeping you waiting.
His tail's not so little anymore. And his voice is deeper. Okay. All grown up and safe in Eorzea.
Vrtra, I presume.
Yeah, that's right, Estinian. That's right. You've seen his dragon self, but it was about time that he had a smaller physical vessel that better reflected his own status and nature and actual truth of being. So, show me that face. Show me that face. I like that they have the same kind of clothes. Oh,
indeed,
no!
This vessel now serves as a host for my eye.
You know what? I'll be right back. You know what? You know what? I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Oh, that's good though! He hides! Oh, he's so cute! Oh! Alright, let's continue with the cutscene.
I was aware that the alchemists were busy preparing something. But this
is above and beyond my expectations. Look at him. Look at that face on him. He got a good face on him. He got good everything. That's better. That's better for our dragon. Much better. Probably easier to manage in cutscenes. You can make him as a trust. Now I'm gonna need humanoid versions for all the dragons. Please and thank you. In the future, the scions, they're gonna need to retire, but dragons are forever. So maybe we just have dragons forever. He's so good. So good.
We couldn't well send you on such a perilous mission unprepared, Your Excellency.
Now give me those faces. Give me that face. For Aura. Give me some new Aura faces! And detach the horns from them. And new scale texture. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm gonna get it together. We're gonna get through the rest of this cutscene.
Spare no effort in crafting the body. And I dare say you'll find it adept at wielding weapons and magics both. 'Twas our intent to present it to you sooner, but we could not bring ourselves to do so, knowing we could yet improve it further. Pray forgive us.
There is naught to forgive. I am grateful for this fine vessel, and shall put it to good use.
Now I'm just gonna need his voice on loop for a long time. Very long time. A very long time. Also, let me just make it incredibly clear, because I have heard some discourse in the community, which is good. It is a good thing to talk about. It is something that, particularly in anime and stuff, is a very bad trope. But let me just make this extremely clear. I am exclusively excited about his thousands of years old dragon self and this larger form for him. There's a lot of weird wibbly wobbly fantasy stuff in here. And as always, like, there are very, I want to talk about it with the consideration that's due, right? There are things that toe the line a lot of times, particularly in Japanese media and in anime, but I mean, gosh, in a lot of other places around the world and other media as well. So there has been good discussion about this, particularly given some of the conversations about even other characters in the game. But let me just make that clear. Exclusively those two. We because he is a grown-up. And the dragons are very good in this game, and you all know me and what a mess I am about them. So I want to be like very clear about that. Because yes, I have seen some talk, and particularly with this reveal of this model, the idea of aging him up is interesting. And there's been some good talk about it that I would encourage everybody to think about. But I think in this particular regard, I mean, he is old. He was old from the get-go. And we have fantasy nonsense purposes as to why he was represented otherwise for a bit. But this is good. I approve of this change. 10 out of 10. 200 out of 10. Very excellent. He still has like some of the same gestures and things though. That's so cute.
Again, I ask that you watch over Radzatan in my absence. The dangers we go to face are great and many, and I fear I will be unable to give matters here due attention.
Meanwhile, everybody in the crowd is speechless, just like, oh no, he had that.
And in opening the Void Gate, there is ever risk that Void Scent will find their way into our world.
Rest assured, we are more than prepared.
He just got like big, soulful, beautiful eyes. You know what I mean?
Our soldiers have been
Stydian
training
knows what I
under
mean.
Master Estinian. On my honor, we will not suffer a single fiend to pass.
Nabdeen's got some gusto. He's got some fire. I like it. I approve of it.
Varshan. Ah, but seeing as this is a different body, perhaps we should use a different name.
Are they just gonna call him Vrtra?
Nay,
Aw.
Varshan shall suffice. Though I may have thus grown up, I am as ever a little brother to you all.
I mean, it's cute though, you know what I mean? Because he's very, very, very much every single one of these people's seniors beyond all belief. But I like the idea that, again, they're viewing themselves as like one big family, right? And that the ways they connected or related to each other to some degree over the years, like those connections he's made with people, not just as a dragon, not just as a, you know what, it's like breaking down those boundaries in a sense to connect with others that would have maybe made them fear in other regards, or, you know, so to hold on to some of that feeling between them I think is sweet.
As you say, as you say. Go then, Varshan. And best of luck.
So good. I really hope he remains a major character for us moving forward. I would love to have him
for you as well.
officially in our trust lineup for like permanently. I'd love to have him as a, you know, a companion. Maybe he's only going to really be featured for one expansion because he does have to go back to ruling and all this stuff. But then Ejdiah is probably going to be back, so then we can get Ejdiah instead, you know? They're just setting things up. They're setting things up for us. Me?
While you were gone, Urianger paid us a visit. As you may recall, he joined us on our foray into Arzadar's legacy, in part to conduct research for the Loporrits.
Yes.
Research they were delighted to receive, and which has already inspired them to consider new ways to improve their own treasure vault.
One day, the Loporrits are going to become the real villains. They're too smart for their own good. They're just super curious. We'll have some sort of giant moon primal, but it'll just, I don't know. It'll be something. It'll be really intense as they try to learn from and acquire all races in the known universe. I'm going to stick with that. That's going to be my prediction. In 10 years of story, that's where we'll be at. And the next 10 years of story, that's where we'll be at. And I'm pretty sure that'll be the future of the game, so. They work with terrifying
As a
speed.
token of their gratitude, Livingway entrusted a familiar relic to Urianger.
Something from Hydaelyn? A familiar relic? Oh, you get that answers out of here. You already devastated me.
The crystal, which showed the way to Meteon.
Oh, we saw I think a little preview.
The Loporrits no longer have need of it, and thus saw fit to return it to us.
Oh. Give me my
Harboring the
wife
power
back.
of light, it could well aid us in our mission in the void.
Give me the last piece of my wife back.
And who better to bear Hydaelyn's gift than her chosen champion?
I can't even talk about Venat, or we're gonna be here for 5 days. We'll have done nothing. Let's just think about how cute this new boy is. Oh, this new old boy.
If there is nothing left to discuss, then let us depart. Our boat awaits
Custom
us in
hairstyle
Apial.
too? I think it is, but it's based off of the other form. It's not that dissimilar to something like Emmerich's hair, but it's not the same for sure. It's really happening. We're heading to the void. This is so buck wild. This is so wild. I mean, we all figured that at some point we would be going there, right? That, at least in my mind, if you're looking at the logical steps forward and you're thinking, oh yeah, well, what's going to be after this? What would be the other places that would come most immediately to mind? Not to say that they can't surprise us. The Void has always been so high up there because we've gotten tastes of it. We've heard so much about it. It has disrupted and interrupted and been so close to this world in many ways. And we know that the Void itself seems to have some kind of knowledge or some kind of property that has made it so that there are at least pseudo reports of Void Scent being on other shards or showing up, you know, even on the first, that they were able to kind of connect to the Void. So it makes sense that that would be kind of a hub if we were then going to move on to other shards or other worlds to learn something there that might teach us about how that could be done. Of course, there's also stuff like the Crystal Tower and all these other possible avenues that they could explore as far as interdimensional travel. I guess it's not. It's kind of is and isn't interdimensional. Alternate parallel world travel. Wibbly wobbly timey wimey travel. It's there. It's possible, but it seems like the Void would be a good one. And we're already into the dungeon. Oh my gosh. Okay. Make sure all of our stuff is good for recording. And then I'm gonna go into this one with trusts. So we'll do trusts. I'm gonna try to do trust runs in most of our playthroughs going forward. There are some times though where I might ask people to join me, mostly just because, although I know there's so much good lore, little reactions and stuff like that, I do love playing with people, and I love sharing those experiences, and that's been so important to me too in my journey with Final Fantasy XIV, that there may still be future content runs where you see me in the playthroughs group up with people, but just rest assured that I do go back and I try to do everything with trusts and get that dialogue and understanding. For the most part, I'll probably do trust first from here on out with playthroughs, but every now and then, especially in long expansions or things like that, I just like to break it up and get to actually hang out with people and be a part of the hype, since so much of the time I have to kind of seclude myself for a lot of the recording for these, and I don't want spoilers, and I want to make sure that everything is just us experiencing it for the first time. But we will do a lot more trusts, I think, because there were definitely some parts of Endwalker where I wished I had done this or that with the trust first, so. The Satrap and your fellows have already departed for the vault. Are you ready to set forth? Oh! Wait. Yes, wait. Okay, this isn't the dungeon yet. It's just that this takes you on the boat, which takes you to... It had the icon that reminded me of trusts, so... Okay, we'll go through here. But I will do this dungeon with trust, because I think we are about to do the dungeon. All that preamble aside. Oh, so exciting. Oh, wow, everybody's here. Wow, everybody came through. I must say, I'm beginning to feel nervous. It's not only us cheering you on, but the alchemists of old, too. You couldn't possibly fail. Don't say that, don't jinx it. Good gods, but the treasure's here! If I were a thief, I wouldn't notice a void gated if it came and bit me in the rear. An undersea vault guarded by alchemical sentries. Such a place would be an ideal proving ground for new creations. Like us, the alchemists have tremendous passion for their work. If we were to collaborate, I reckon we could achieve some great things. What do you all think? How you feeling? They've upgraded the Vault's Guardians to contend with Void Scent, a task which was made easier by the surplus of broken units. One could argue that I did them a favor. Yeah, sure, Stinian. For my research into cross-rift travel, this is a moment of truth. For all those who helped us come this far, let's pray we succeed. I mean, it's going to be a really short story if we don't, so I can only imagine that we are about to indeed succeed. This is it! We're gonna take our first steps into the void together! You've been with me to the ends of the universe.
Shall now lift the seal.
Why not the void next, you know? I still can't get over how cute he is.
In the name of Al-Zadar III, I cast open this door unto the void.
Here we go! Here we go! It's gonna get like big. All right, because we have to use him.
Go. Absorb the void gate.
Go pizza roll! Get all void flavored up in there. Oh, he's becoming a full-size Hot Pocket! He's becoming a calzone! He's huge! Oh, or is that he's just turning into that? Oh no. Oh my gosh, he's really huge! Okay! How'd they get squish him back down in there, though?
We should have no trouble passing through a gate of that size.
And does the future mean we're just gonna have weird hot pockets? You're gonna have to climb into the thing's mouth every time you want to travel to another place? I mean, that's okay. That's fine.
What can we expect to find after stepping through?
Good question. Who knows? Fell Court of Troia, I'm guessing, based off the preliminary patch notes.
I emerged in a castle swarming with void scent. I was hopelessly outnumbered and forced to turn back. But together, I am confident we can hold our own. Upon our arrival, let us deal with any hostile entities and secure the area.
Let's do it!
The command of our mission, I leave in your capable hands.
Okay. Sorry, I mean, yes,
in the
of
event
course.
of battle, I shall adapt my tactics to complement your own.
Ah, another flex, I see.
Should we require healing, I can provide it. 'Twould be a welcome change of pace from my recent havoc wreaking.
I do enjoy that they've given a little bit more flexibility. I think especially in these ones where the canonical choice of characters would be X, Y, or Z. Now that we have so many different trusts and things like that, it's nice to have a little bit of flexibility with it, so you don't have to feel as though you have to adjust yourself if you want to just play one class straight through kind of deal. I might actually shake it up and go red mage. Oh, wait. Yeah, my red mage should probably have a high enough eye level. We'll see.
Have faith.
I could definitely equip.
We will brave this broken world and rescue my sister Ajdaya.
It's his dramatic hero moment. I need to stop rambling about glamour. Yeah! Let's go! There it is! The Fell Court of Troia! I'm just so curious. Are they gonna actually do something where Scarmaglione is technically the boss at the end? And then he dies, and then you fight him as the trial in the second phase? Because I actually haven't played 4, which I believe is, although he reoccurs in a couple different Final Fantasies, but I've heard about how his fight goes, and I did some research on it because I was curious. He's considered to be the weakest of the 4 fiends, but he says in his kind of fight, my true actual power isn't even revealed until I die at least once. So he dies and comes back because he's kind of necromantic earth themed. So I'm very interested. And yet, you'd think if that was the case, they wouldn't have even shown him and stuff. There's gotta be some twist because they're still keeping the trial a secret. And I have no idea what it is. No idea yet. So it seems as though there would be a surprise more than just, oh, it's him, but not even his final form, you know? It seems like it. It seems like it. Okay, give me 1 second because I'm gonna contemplate what I want to do and or change up I think I will stay healer. I actually think my red mage is probably a high enough level, but I think I will change my glamour. So we'll have a speedy glamour shift here, and then we'll be back with you in just a second. I did go red mage, and it does turn out that I thought of a few, I don't know, a month ago. I actually got all my roughly best in slot-esque for red mage, although I don't raid on red mage or anything. So I'm actually good to go. I've got the eye level. Let's do it, baby. You watch a little top tier red mage gameplay. It's mostly just because I canonically headcanon Arden as being a red mage who can flex a little bit into either white magic or black magic. So, you know, I'm just feeling that flair, and why not? If you're running with trusts, they're definitely not going to be AoEing, so I might as well. Let's talk. First time in a reflection or no, I can't say I'm feeling nervous. Not after having journeyed to the edge of existence. That's right, because he wasn't taken out of body like the other scions for the first, so this is his first time setting foot elsewhere, minus being the end of the universe. True to our friend's words, the warding scales are eminently reinforced. We needn't fear corruption, even should we be wounded by void scent. I'm gonna have to do his voice a little huskier now. No looking back. I shall keep my eyes ever forward and trust Radzatan to my people. Okay. Alright. Let's form a party. Let's do this. Okay, we've got our boys.
Together
yes, that's it. We're gonna do these three. Look at them. Satrap, that's his class. Satrap. Varshad. I like the kind of alternative names that are almost names for all the different classes that they can play. Sometimes they are just unique, or with the case of the Ancients, they had, I think it would have probably been something equivalent to their practices at the time. But the idea that you might refer to somebody who has mastered multiple magics as a sorceress, or there may be different ways that people would want to classify themselves. Now it just gets me curious, you know, what would your Warrior of Light's title, their role title be? It wouldn't have to just be, you know, red mage, paladin, white mage, or whatever. You could get a little fun with it. You tell me about it if you want in the comments. I gotta think about it myself now. Okay, let's do it. Register for duty, please. Member selection available. I selected my members. I'm good to go. Didn't want to do that for some reason. Maybe if I go through the, like, trust-specific menu. Oh, I always forget where that is. Every time. It's in duties, right? It would be duty, because it's a trust, a duty-related shenanigan. Oh, or not, because we haven't done it yet, so it has not fully registered. Okay, well, let's just try again. I might have just been goofing a little bit here. No, it still won't let me register for duty.
Together, right then.
Right? What would be keeping us from it? Eye level 575. What am I rocking currently? 597, so we should be fine. Member selection available. What's happening? What's happening right now? Go away. Oh, okay. It's just because that other window is open? That's so weird. Why? 14, I love you. Why are your UI windows like this sometimes? Why is this still a thing that's happening in 2022? I put on my fanciest duds and I am ready to stomp my way into the void at long last. I'm ready. These are my battle clothes. Those were our adventurer clothes. Newfound adventure. We found it. Now it's business time. Oh, I bet this dungeon's gonna be so good. Oh, it just looked so good already from the preview. We barely saw any of it. I wonder who all the bosses will be. There was one that was like weird heads. Sorry. Oh, is this what's inside of a pizza roll? Oh, it's like when... Aww. It's from crystalline sounds. That's so cool. Oh, don't mind if I do. I gotta turn off my screenshot sound effect. But that was such a good dramatic moment, you know? I'm ready! Oh, it's a little spoopy. Is this a harpsichord? They're using already some of the orchestral instrumentation that they've used in previous parts of the game for things like the Void. Oh, so good. Oh, I love it. Okay, sorry. I always have to listen to the music. Oh, the ground's all warped and weird. Oh, it has a reflection of us upside down. What? Oh, hold on. I will move this window so that I can read what's happening here. Estinian says, quite literally a twist in place, the Void. Varshan, stay focused. Void scent could be anywhere. Oh, this is cool. Oh, it's so weird and I love it. New Void scent enemies! Oh, they're neat. Oh, this is so cool. I can't wait to see too how their aesthetics and like the looks that they have for Void Scent, right? Now that we've had stuff like the first, we've seen Sin Eaters. They've grown and shifted even in how they want to depict these things and what their aesthetics might be. I know that they're going to try and keep a continuity with how they've been presented before, but it's still really cool to think about how they might continue to evolve what we view as the aesthetic of those kinds of entities, especially given how much they've grown over the years in this game and how much their design sensibilities and things have changed even. It's just awesome. It's so exciting. Okay, will do. I gotta get back into my rotation. I've been playing so much White Mage with raids and things. Oh, such cool little models. Everything is so weird. It's awesome that they played with that, though. The idea of how even a distortion of ether would literally affect physical composition in space. Trojan Scavenger. I believe this is a reference to... Is this another 4 reference? Troia? I know obviously there are connections there to things like Troy in our own world, but I'm sure those of you who've played 4 probably understand this reference a little bit more or might have an idea of even what to expect more than I do right now, because I don't know. I have no idea. I believe this is a reference to another Final Fantasy.
This will hurt.
Alright, Growly Estinian. Oh sure, why not? A Rook can have a little melee combo time. Is there anything else? I'm like running around as though there's gonna be a ton of hidden lore. I'm just so curious. Torture devices and stuff. That's good. That seems pretty par for the course. But if this was actually a castle, right? We're probably working our way through the dungeons up. And they've mixed in some old Void sets. Thanks for healing Ishola, I appreciate you. Also, can we just take a second to talk about how good, maybe I've already talked about this, but how good
You underestimate
the
me.
Red Mage swooshy Rose Tornado is? I feel like I've definitely talked about this before. At least in my head, or to any and all friends who will listen to it, if not to all of you.
I will end this farce.
Oh, we had some more dialogue go by. Ishola. Those ones appear to be sentries, Varshan. Guarding the dungeon, I shouldn't doubt. But the fact that they would be guarding, this is the thing that I find so interesting about Void Scent. Unlike Sin Eaters who go into a kind of, right, they lose all personality. They don't seem to really be able to speak, although some of the higher level ones do have some words, higher level. More powerful ones do. There seems to be some retention of something in them, right? And some order because they follow the commands or at least the will of higher up entities. But as far as like a complex culture, society, language, we didn't really see that necessarily with Sin Eaters. They seemed to almost work off of more of a pack instinct or hierarchy versus Void Scent, which have very complex hierarchies and different types of titles and things like that, and a courtly-esque system. So have they become their own sentient world? It's something that I'm really curious to see how they're going to explore in this. Oh, please don't let me die. Because I think, you know, we could easily just say, oh, well, we need to turn them all back because they got all warped and everything's out of balance, but is there anything within the actual Void Scent themselves that deserves to be saved? That's, I guess, my big question. Or are they all just really, truly super bad now because of all the stuff that happened? The energy that they're affiliated with, too, is activity, right? So, with that kind of umbral energy source. I don't know. Just interesting to think about. What made me think about that was the fact that they were guarding. I guess I should have clarified. As opposed to just mindlessly milling about, searching for ether like zombies. Alright, beat up on these boys. When are they going to actually robustly put in AoE rotation support? I thought that there was talk about it, but it seems like recently, even when I've been running dungeons with trusts, because I was working on leveling them up a little bit to try and get some different Beatrice, to try and get some different minions that I was trying to get drops for. Beatrice, it appears rats have wandered into my castle. Tear them apart if you must. Their drifting ether will suffice. So this is the first boss. Those are the heads that we saw. Is she the mistress of this castle? Whoever she is will tend to her like the rest. Evil dreamer, cleaning time. Eliminate the rats. See, like they have language. And seemingly complex thoughts. Also, I will try to call out who's talking when, since those bubbles are sometimes gone past the time that I'm able to read them or get through the whole thing. But hopefully you'll be able to tell by the voice differentiation who's what, if need be. This is kind of fun, a good old-fashioned ad fight. It's been a while since we had one of those. I'm gonna get hit. Oh, no. It's gonna do that. Is it gonna bow tie back across the arena again? It's just like they're multiplying.
I will end this farce.
So far, mostly just burning down the ants. Nothing else that's been, other than just a little bit of movement. It feels like this fight is gonna add something else into the mix that I'm just not anticipating right now. Or is this really it? This can't be it. For a whole boss fight? Yeah, no. Ugh, stubborn rats! Alright, so we gotta take these away and avoid the slashes. Does a little bit of damage there, a little damage. So they kind of like scatter around the arena and reform. Try this, try this! My gosh, there's a lot of them around Varshan. It's interesting that they're forming a ring around him. They're not doing the kind of normal pack patterning where they'd all just sort of clump together and then... But they seem to have like a very specific assembly around him. I don't know if that's just that they wanted to make it a little bit easier for you to target. If you were trying to target as a healer or something like that, target Varshan, but... Or if it's something specific to their fight or their positioning and how they do stuff. Milk every last drop of their ether. Normally we would just take this one down and then we would just wait and stand in the empty space, and that seems to be the pattern we're following here.
I will not hold back.
No surprises from that yet. You know what, we'll do a little magic barrier because sometimes we're getting some AoEs around this kind of pacing in a fight. Some kind of mechanic will happen, then you'll have some sort of big AoE damage. It does make using AoE abilities a little bit more, I guess you could say, strategic. Like if you have a line AoE as opposed to anything else, trying to figure out how you're going to position to hit as many of them as possible is interesting in that regard. Oh, they became one! You are finished! Probably just a DPS check, Endless Nightmare. Maybe not. We've got tether heads. Are they gonna explode? What's happening over there? Oh, it's big! He made big! He got big! So you had to move away because the actual AoE was gonna be larger than the telegraph in that regard.
Out of my way.
So they're gonna pull this way. Okay, so those two are gonna get big. This one's gonna stay small. Yeah, you know, but there's a little bit more to this than maybe I thought at first. Than the impression was given initially. He's almost dead, though.
Away with you.
Woo! Varshan says, "Well fought, my friends. Let us press on." Now, I saw, and I'm curious about this. I haven't had any spoilers or anything, but I did see that a dyeable version of Alzadal's Legacy gear was, I saw somebody wearing it, because I was just thinking the other day, oh, I'm bummed that we don't have a dyeable version yet. And my assumption is that that's either crafted, well, no, because we saw the crafted gear, so it has to be the dungeon drop, right? Which, I won't lie, I'll be a little bit disappointed if they just used the exact same gear back to back and just made a dyeable version of it immediately that kind of negates any and all reason as to why you might get the original set. I don't know. But we got a lot of other incredible gear this patch, and as I get excited and hit my table, and we got the new special effect raid gear, which is for both normal and savage. So really, I can't complain that much. It's just that I personally like to collect gear that's thematic to dungeons, which you all probably know from my Endwalker playthrough. Now, I'm gonna turn my eye bulbs on this vista that we just got because I'm very curious. We're gonna go, hold on, there we go. We're gonna go full view. Oh my gosh, so cool. Wow, wow. Yeah, the whole world is just a little destroyed, huh? This kind of shape on, I don't know, braziers or these torches or just, I guess, ornamentation. It's a little reminiscent of some of the Dravanian architecture from the ancient Elysian, Dravania kind of time period. Elysian Dragon period, but it looks different enough that I don't feel like there's actually a direct correlation. The ground stuff is pretty cool. The ornamentation on the tiles or on the stone flooring. Okay, onward we go. Are we gonna actually? We probably will make it into the castle, right? Maybe we fight on part of it. Ah, we have a little teleport. Varshan says, "By the sisters." Estinian, That must be the castle proper. Not too shabby. No, I wouldn't say too shabby. Oh, we just went straight in. Okay. We like climbed in off the balcony. It's the gargoyle! And the Dark Valkyries. They have a specific name, but these knights, I think they're called some kind of knight in other parts of the game. But I always thought they were cool because they remind me a lot of the Voidal counterpart to the, oh, what's their actual name as far as Sin Eaters go? The winged ones that look similar to the final boss of the hard mode, Maki themed dungeon, or no, the hard mode, you know what I'm trying to say. War of Magi, we had the titular evil angel for Shadowbringers. Thank you all. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but whenever I go into recording myself for a playthrough, as I've mentioned, but I'll say it again because I get embarrassed about it. Words and names of things completely escape my mind in the moment because I'm so focused on what's happening and talking with all of you and thinking ahead to what's going on. So I appreciate all of you that fill in the blanks or that accept it with grace and know what I'm talking about. You're the real heroes. You're the real champions here. Estinian, if the mistress is here, we must repay her earlier kindness. I imagine she's going to be the last fight then. Which would, but we saw Scarmaglione. And it looked like, I thought we were fighting him in part of the trailer as our team, as this light party, but maybe not.
I will not hold back.
It's also very possible that he does make an appearance or something. Or that he just is the trial. But it'd be really funny then if they just had shown him right off the bat, but then said it was still secret. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna have to, I don't know, play the game. And the Hellhounds! Amazing! Oh, we do go up that way. Huh. Oh, is this whole plate? Hold on. No, because this is definitely a staircase, so it's not all upside down. They've just kind of done these interesting perspective things that make it feel like parts of the decorations or everything is kind of goofed a little bit, even though the floor is straight at this point. Huh. This is our very first real peek into the void. And this world, the world that was. Interesting. All of these cabinets seem unusually large. This may be small. No, that seems pretty big too, honestly. I wonder if the original denizens, and these tables and benches, I wonder if the original denizens were closer to something like ancient size beings, or if when they were shifted, if Voidsent really do have some kind of, I don't know, thriving society here, if they crafted new furniture, like if they're capable of that, and because of their more monstrous forms, they were of a different scale and shape, like what we see. Keep going back and forth, and we'll keep speculating and putting on our tinfoil hat while we do. Already, it's kind of fun to get this return to a semi-familiar but totally different world, you know? I feel very nostalgic for a lot of the other Void-themed stuff and content that we've gotten in the game.
I will not hold back.
Oh, there's a painting they were referring to. Oh, wow. Okay, Estinian says,
I will end this.
the woman in the painting, do you suppose? And Ishtola says, I suspect it's the mistress in bygone days. So if the paintings, okay, we're gonna read way too into this. So if the paintings are this large, my guess would be that the people were this large. Her, it must be her, right? And yet, it's kind of amazing. The gear that's in those paintings is the Void Ark gear. Also very interesting that every single one of these paintings, I guess you can kind of see a face there. It looks like a Rugadin model. How much do you want to bet? Now hear me out. How much do you want to bet that they used the adventurer portrait system to make these, and that's why it looks like they're all wearing in-game gear, and then they applied some kind of filter over them to make them look like a painting? But it's interesting to me that that is one of the only ones that is really clear beside her. Ellison model looks like there. Okay, we'll come back out again. We'll come back out of examination mode. But those paintings are so big. I mean, I guess it could also be that because of the imbalance of ether, that size and scale of objects has distorted. Including paintings. It could be. These chairs look pretty normal sized. Hi, I'm Rook. I read too much into things like dungeon environments. Or is it just enough? That's the real question. What I think is actually incredible about 14 is the fact that a lot of times these things in games would be completely inconsequential, and yet 14 is the kind of game that goes above and beyond at times to tie in their storytelling and their tidbits and the things that they have going on in a way that almost any other game doesn't. But in 14, you know, you can dig into, you can theorize about, you can talk about, and whether or not any of that ends up panning out, it's still very fun to kind of look at it and see that love and care and all the stuff that they've put into the dungeons and the environments. And oh my gosh, I got too excited talking and I completely borked my rotation. We don't need rotations where we're going. It's a very big table. It would be really fun and wild. Can you imagine a boss fight where you like walk up and there's a big table like this and you move to the center and then the table like levitates up in the room and you're fighting on it? And if you get knocked down, there's like different things you have to do on the floor. That would be very cool. All right, well, let's go through. No more paintings. Big interesting windows though. Very kind of Soulsbornian, gothic-y. Oh, here's the statues. Huh. Ooh! What you think? That an arena in there? Oh, I love me some new content. It does feel as though the mobs are smaller. Maybe that's just me? I don't know. Anybody else feel like that? It feels like there's less mobs in the dungeon. Like very small strategic packs and then expanses where you're just kind of running down an empty hallway as opposed to what would be almost a, you know, here are a whole bunch of smaller ones and then you have to gather them all up and run to whatever portion if you're kind of speed running the dungeon, right? No new dialogue so far as I've seen. The mobs are okay. I think some of my favorite mob packs are actually in the vault of all things. I liked that they kind of had some different mechanics. The chess pieces, you know, they're that kind of unique duo. They almost feel a little bit as though they are mini encounters throughout. I think also one that has that kind of good sense too is, oh neat, is the Mount Gulg. Mount Gulg has some fun ones with like the walls and the different types of mobs and things as you go through. Huh. All the statues in here. This arena is cool. Oh, wow. A kind of sense of serving, submission, being worn down, heavy. It's a very interesting kind of feel with the statues here. She's also interesting. So here's Beatrice then. Eye of Troia is the cast. Oh, it's a look away, but with a look away ring? That's gonna be a mechanic that they build off of, huh? Beatific Scorn. These will probably detonate in some kind of pattern, right? Or in order. Like, those ones are glowing red. And then I'm guessing we need to move out of the way. Her model is cool, though. It's like a big eye on her forehead. Did I see that? Oh, it is! It, like, the top of her head opens and closes, I think. Hush is the name of her tank buster. Oh, she's cool! Her feet with the heels, also super cool. Void Shaker. I thought for a second she was gonna use the same model as, and maybe she does in some regards, but as the, oh, we've seen them a couple times. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, so these are all gonna go in, and we're gonna need to know where these lookaways are. So away from wherever they are pulling into. That's a cool kind of way to spin that mechanic. Oh, we'll get in here, we'll get in here. So those do damage when they go down as well, so. Oh. This time they detonated differently. Huh. We'll see how that goes next time around. I thought she shared a model with, we've seen a couple times these, oh, I'm trying to think of what the actual enemy type would be called specifically. I think of them almost as like sylphs. But we had like one that was like a garden keeper. I don't know if anybody's gonna understand from that description what I'm talking about, but if anybody does, you get 5 gold stars. But they kind of hover, and I think they may or may not share some similarities with Skothic, possibly in model. But she is unique. I feel like she's a unique model with her posture and what she's doing and her movements. Okay, so those are gonna pull in that way. I'm gonna give myself a little heelsy. Oh geez, it goes all the way to the edge, huh? This is gonna kill me? It's gonna one-shot me? Ah, spicy, okay. Well, I wanna look at her. I wanna look at her! How can this be? How could you resist my gaze? They're too strong. Someone else can devour them. Estinian. She's quick on her feet, if nothing else. Ishtola. She may still be a threat. After her. She's not dead yet, so she's definitely still a threat, and she's gonna come back at some point. Yeah, but there are these models that are... One of them does a fight where there's like these earth effects, and you know what? And you have to line up, and then the rows go past. And then there's another one where you have the seedlings, and you have to run the seedlings out. So those are the ones that I was thinking of in the moment, because that kind of a head shape, and it felt a little bit like some of those figures, but I really liked the details on her body, her feet, the eye that opened and closed, the ornamentation, that was sort of the textures on her skin. And this arena. This is what I want to see with a good arena design. Something that evokes a sense of time, place, space, feel. That's cool. Ooh, and then you've got the kind of thing up above. That's cool. Okay. Can we actually run up onto her throne? This looks like the way we have to move forward, right? Subjugation power. I wonder if different people, so we know the heroes of this world used aura sight to infuse themselves with power, but is it possible that people who just wanted power also used those abilities to take on, you know, and create kingdoms or subjugate others to their will? Did heroes become villains? What's with this leaf texture? What? Oh, that's pretty. I love me some iridescent. Varshan. Terraces in the sky. Ishola. Do void scent appreciate flowers too? I wonder. I mean, maybe. Oh. Wow. What a strange and yet really hauntingly beautiful landscape. Huh. Oh, so cool. Hey, it's these! Like the boss from the Maki raids. Are kind of spider figures. These ones are different though. They have a slightly different... I want to take a look at them. Oh, they got spider face! Sorry, spider warning for anybody who hates spiders or has arachnophobia. I didn't think they were gonna just straight up have heads of spiders. But they definitely do. They're all called Troyan, though. A name of the Void Scent Kingdom that they serve? Or just because they were part of what was once a place or a kingdom known as Troia? So pretty. The influx of light ether on the first had effects on plants and on the surroundings, and you know, there it caused complete stagnancy, but here again, I mean, activity. It's warped. It is definitely not the way that it's meant to be, but... Oh, and these boys! There's also a boss in those Maki raids that use this model. The one that has the hallucinogenic effect.
I will end this farce.
This is so pretty. It's so atmospheric. Keep whittling away at them without our AoEs. Ishola's interesting. She almost uses what looks like a water aspected attack, kind of like the fluid aura animation, if I was seeing that right. Now that they've kind of returned a bit of conjury to her, a bit of white magic. I'm just looking down there. I'm just curious. Oh, it's very pretty. This feels like such a lovely extension of some of the things that we saw in the original designs for Void Scent architecture, where there's a lot of that neon, and there's, I mean, it's obviously dark because it's the world of darkness and all that sort of stuff, but there were kind of Greco-Roman columns and those sorts of touches, and yet here we get a bit more of this ornate Gothic architecture. And then we had a bit of almost Tim Burton-esque in the Maki raids. Void Arc and Funscape and all of those. Also, before anybody asks me in the comments, sometimes I click, not in actual raid, but sometimes when I'm doing chill content, I click on half of my bar because it's a little bit hard on my arms. I don't have carpal tunnel, but I have something called ulnar neuritis, which is a different nerve in your arms. So sometimes just to take a little bit of pressure off, I'll just click the right hand side of my bar. I don't personally think it ever has to be explained or justified to people, but every now and then I'll see somebody who will say something to me in Guild Wars 2 as well, where they'll be like, why are you clicking? And I'm like, well, there's any number of reasons I could be, and it turns out that it is because I deal with pain. So if I can make it easier and divvy up the workload between both of my wrists, I do wherever I can. Estinian, we have her now! Ishtola, I sense something sinister in the air. It would be so cool, it'd be so great if they could voice the companion, the trust lines in the dungeons, because a lot of times, unless you are really keeping an eye out for them, I think people are prone to missing them in the heat of the moment. Just admiring all the cool details on the floor, you know, things you should be worrying about while you are in the middle of a battle.
Out of my way!
Oh, he's almost down. Oh, just big boy. Alright, and here we are. Final boss arena at the top, right? That feels about right. Trapped in my own domain. No, I don't want to be eaten! Interesting arena up ahead. Does that almost look like there's some kind of maze effect?
The gate did open again and delivered the most mouth-watering morsels.
Is that him? Oh, dang. Oh, no. Oh, girl, I'm sorry. Sorry, girl. There's that Scarmiglione Goni.
I am Scarmiglione, Archfiend of Earth and first of Golbez's Circle of Thorn.
Scarmiglione.
Pleasure I will take in delivering you unto your grave.
I mean, his second phase has to be the trial, right? They could just have him be here. They could. This arena, though, I am really curious about. It obviously has a little bit of this maze sort of thing around it, but doesn't it look like we're gonna have to go out and then in between in that channel and do something there, or avoid an attack, or get knocked back into those? I'm excited. I bet you almost anything, and you can all tell me in the comments if I'm right, that this is for music. This feels like it has to be for music. Maybe it's his music. Also, I really like that they went with the Amano art design for him, and I really like his little forehead flowers. I think they're cute. They're very good. Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, we can walk out here. There's water. I bet you there's gonna be a fire attack or something. Something that would negate, or why we'd have to be in water. Maybe we have to run around? I guess we'll find out. I don't see any other dialogue that they had. All right, let's give it a go. Estinian, it seems he wants to devour us too. Varshan, he will find us unappetizing. So that put a nasty bleed out. Whoo! Garden of Epops.
Breathe deep of your death.
So these layer out. They'll definitely detonate right in a like bup 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 kind of pattern. Oh! Are they 2 hits each? No. One. The first brood? Those who were first, oh, it turns toxic so you don't, oh, the wall gets destroyed as you go through. I see. And you want to get knocked into it. All right.
My blade thirsts for blood.
The first brood, would that maybe be those who first turned into the heroes that first turned into these entities, these void sends? A big sword. Got a big bopping stick. Blighted sweep. Okay, we'll get behind him. We'll get behind him.
Away with you!
Fire damp. My eyes are just like glued on the screen right now. Creeping decay. So there's a little bit of that necromantic. He's angled this way like he's gonna go across the arena, or oh, he made these nasty boys. Necrosurfs. Reminds me a bit of the necromancer that we saw in the Hero's Gauntlet dungeon. I'm gonna try and give myself a little healsy. They're beefy. Okay, we've got a stack up marker. What? What just happened to me and my body? Do I need to stack those on the ads? Were there not enough people? That was not a traditional stack. I saw what looked like a dark orb drop on my head. Mysterious. All right, we'll check it out again. We'll check it out again as we get into it. We'll give it another try. Also, I like that we almost have, I think we have an Italian influence with Barbariccia, with it's so hard to say his name, Scarmaglione. I think it'd be Scarmaglione. That we have these, like, I don't know where those were inspired from, because I know they were the original names, right? I wonder if they come from opera or they come from, as I hit my microphone, I wonder if there's some origin for all of them. I mean, and then of course there's Golbez. There's gotta be some kind of reason for those names. All right, we'll see what happened with that stack up. In the past, there have sometimes been, in necromantic fights, something that you needed to drop on the ads, like down in the crypts with the cult fight. The one where there's that woman who summons all of the different ads. The really sad culmination to the little novice adventurer quest, right? Where you have to drop that kind of energy on top of the ads. Maybe it's just too much damage for you to sustain alone, so you need to move to not only have your party, but also have the ads themselves caught up in it. That could also be why the ads seemed so beefy. They just seemed incredibly strong. Oh, what am I doing? We don't need AoE rotation.
Breathe deep of your death.
So this is gonna destroy the walls.
I will not hold back.
I'm gonna drop this somewhere that's not a wall, just in case it destroys additional walls, and we just don't realize that yet. Okay. I like how the walls kind of tip over. And then we're gonna get knocked back into the wall to keep ourselves out of the poison.
My blade thirsts for blood.
He's gonna, what, do a leap and cleave the arena? Oh, this is different. He's gonna dive. Oh, maybe this did happen in the first time. I just thought it was not at this point. Now he's gonna do the sweep. The half arena, right? Yeah, okay. So it looks like those are scripted. Varshan's gonna eat that tank busty. I'll go ahead and focus target him. That might help. He's jumped over here. Creeping Decay. This is gonna be the one again where he summons all of these boys. Okay. Boys summoned. Check. Gonna have some different AoE patterns on the arena. This is the stack up. Yes, I assume we have to stack it on top of all the guys. Huh. It could have also just been that last time they default moved center and I just didn't move entirely to meet them there. That could just also be it. This is fun. This feels memorable. Sometimes you go through, I don't know, a dungeon, there might be like a place in it that's memorable, there might be a thing. But the bosses and the design of this one definitely feel very cool to me. Maybe it's also just that we're really getting our... Ishola says, such overwhelming power! Justinian, brace yourselves! It could also just be that this is one of our very first kind of ventures into the void, as it were, and I'm riding that hype, so it feels extra memorable to me. Okay, so here's the bad stuffs again. Oh jeez. You're really not gonna move, bud? Okay, okay.
No mercy.
Okay, it doesn't look like those do actually get rid of the walls. Blighted Bedevilment. It's gonna knock back.
Time to end this.
This is gonna be our stack up again. Yeah, I think maybe I just wasn't quite on top of everybody for the last stack up because there's no ads up this time, so. More blighted blade work.
Time to end this.
I like his cute little tentacles too. Oh, he's gonna jump over here. This will be our sweep again. Now the real question is this just going to be an anthem for this fight, or would they bring this back as something like the boss anthem for an entire Void-themed expansion? Probably not. They usually try to have unique music for various unique portions of the game, right? And expansions almost always get their own dungeon soundtrack, final boss soundtrack, those sorts of things. Ooh. Get knocked back again. I was hoping there would be something where you had to use those walls in maybe the first half to hide behind them or move around them as certain things were detonating. But I do like that they're bringing back another one of those arenas that are kind of familiar to us, where various parts fall down and then you have to avoid. Oh, here it comes! Now the real question is, Phase 2 now? No Phase 2? There can't not be a Phase 2 if it's Scarmelion, right? It can't, there cannot. There has to be. There has to be. I mean, I guess they can do whatever they want. Technically. But it just seems like, you know what I mean? I wanted to take a quick look and see if the stuff that dropped did look like the Darbar set. So we just got some pants, right? Troyan thigh boots. Actually, that looks like a unique set, right? And they're undyeable. Yeah, so it is. There's a unique set. Now suddenly my excitement intensifies. Did we get anything else specifically? My kingdom for a search bar. Oh, I'm so glad. I was hoping. I don't know. I just thought when I saw that dyeable version, I was like, what? I guess they could do that. Suddenly, Didact. Mackay. Troyan! Ooh. Ooh. I like. That's nice. What do the tops look like now? That's my question. I definitely don't think that we got a Troyan top from this. We'll take a peek-see, you know, we'll see. We'll see. I'll scroll through. Moonward, Reverence, Reapers, Brioso, Atrophy, Darbar. Nope, okay. Alright, well, I'm very curious to see what that looks like. Because I don't think this was any of the gear that was previewed. We saw 8-man. We saw Crafted. We saw something that looks like it's from Island Sanctuary. But usually they do show the dungeon gear.
This Scarmelione. He knew the gate had opened.
He could sense it.
And not for the first time. He and his brethren must keep watch over the portal.
As we do ours. But to unflinchingly consume a fellow Voidsent.
Yeah, I don't think they care that much about that.
Like men, perhaps they form factions and fight amongst themselves.
Could be.
The question is, what will the minions do?
Ah, look at all the models! Ferdinand's model, the jester.
Your mistress is no more, and the one who consumed her we slew in turn. Do you still mean to try us?
Maybe they mean to serve us. I'm okay, we're good, we got enough friends. Can they reason? Are they rational?
I expect some Voidsent are more intelligent than others. Perhaps these ones simply do not understand our words.
Stola, just deal it out. Sick burns left
Even
and right.
beasts ought to understand strength.
They might be considering their options right now.
We do not know about Voidsent. If we are to survive their world, it would be wise to learn their ways.
I mean, yeah. Don't overthink it. We'll improvise as we go.
If that is your preferred approach, then very well. I shall defer to your adventurer's intuition.
I mean, yes. We should gather the information and react accordingly and improvise and respond off of that is what I meant. Mostly, I feel like Varshan disapproves a little bit. I just meant that we shouldn't get too caught up in theorizing or this or this or this or this before we even have any information, you know? We have to explore. This is a whole new world. We have to just adjust and figure out what's happening as we go. That's where the improvisation comes in. Shh, shh, you beautiful, beautiful man, dragon.
I am here, sister. Finally here. And I will find you. I swear it.
I just don't want her to be all corrupted and messed up and stuff. I guess she could be imprisoned. They could have imprisoned her. Buried memory! Ah! Oh my gosh, we haven't even... I'm just now going back through the trailer in my head. We haven't even met that void scent from the end of 6.1 or the possible Reaper lady that might be our shard on this world. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so ready for this. This is a good patch. I can just feel it. This is gonna be a good one. And we get to run around. I never dreamed I would come this far. I can't thank you all enough for your cooperation. It seems the minions are keeping their distance. For now. Let's carry on. We knew we were going to get some kind of little bit of explorable thing, but this is still so... Because we don't really get new maps with our patches. Some games you might in the patch cycle get maps. There's really only a few I can think of where you do. And those are kind of unusual exceptions. But to tell a story like this, you want to have something that's kind of exploratory. You don't want it to just be a dungeon and then that's it. You went to the void, you know? I'm really glad that they made this and that we get to go through it and kind of explore it and to have more of a narrative moment that almost feels as though we have a new little slice of map here. They did that a bit too with the weapons quests where we had the new area and that kind of zone. It expands the world. It feels really good. This castle should serve as a base of operations for now. Ere we set our sights elsewhere, let's see what there is to learn here. Dungeon complete! First part complete! From this point onward, you will not encounter Aetherites for a while. Whoops! Should you leave Troia Castle, you may return here via Weaver's Warding. Additionally, you may now enter the Fell Court of Troia with a party of NPC avatars. To make use of this feature, open the Trust interface located under Duty in the main menu. I'm kind of scared to keep going, but I'm so excited. Mostly just because it feels like we're on the threshold of some really cool stuff. And I want it. I want it so badly. But I'm also nervous. I don't know how to explain it. But it just feels as though when that new thing is ahead of you, you want to jump fully into it. You can't wait for it. And yet you also want to just appreciate every second of it so much. You want to click with it. You want to be going, yes, 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 yes. This is the new story. This is what we're getting into. And we don't even know if this directly ties into the next expansion, right? Because they have said that about 0.5 will be the real true indicator of what direction we might be going in when it comes to the next expansion itself. So how this all connects to that, or if this is just a detour that eventually we'll return to in a later expansion, I don't know, but it feels deeply significant. It feels really important, so we'll see.